Hi, fifth graders, it's Mrs. Clark. Today we're going to start the first lesson in our new Unit 8 on geometry. Our table of contents for this unit includes the introduction of exploring and measuring angles, triangles, transformations, investigating, subdividing, and combining figures, and circles. Before we get started, I want you to make sure that you're ready and I have your full attention and focus. You have your notes and you're ready to learn. At any time during this video, if you need to pause and catch up on your notes, make sure that you do that so you have all of your notes done by the end of the lesson. So today we're going to start with exploring and measuring angles. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to classify and measure right, acute, obtuse, and straight angles. So let's start with lines and line segments. As you can see on the screen, the line is the red picture. It continues in both directions forever and a line never ends. Most lines are drawn with arrows on both sides to show that they don't end. A line segment is a portion of that line and it ends in 2 points. It's like taking a chunk out of the line. That's what a line segment is. A ray is a straight line that starts at one point and continues on forever in the other direction. It's like picking a point on the line that you want to start and then continuing on in the direction of the arrow. And you can see it noted there in green. Angles are when two of those lines or rays meet or intersect at a point. And this is where the angle is formed. And you can see examples there of 6 pictures of angles. And we're going to learn more about angles today as well. How do you measure angles? Well, we use this tool called a protractor. A protractor is a special math tool that is used to measure angles, and there's different styles of protractors. For our class, you need to be most familiar with the first 2 half semicircle looking protractors, but there is the third protractor there that looks like a full circle. We just won't be using those protractors together in class. Protractors use degrees to measure the inside of angles, and after you measure your angles, you can then classify or group them depending upon their angle measurement. And we measure it using degrees, similar to the degrees you use for temperature, but in this type of math, we're talking about the degrees inside the measurement of an angle. So what are the different types of angles? Well, we can start with a right angle. A right angle is an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees. That's why it's called right, because it's 90 degrees. It's a right angle. In the picture there, you can see it's also shown with that green square. That's because squares and rectangles have 4 right angles. So you'll oftentimes see a square put in the corner of an angle to note that it is a right angle. An acute angle is another type. It is an angle with a measurement less than 90 degrees. And sometimes people call these cute angles because they're small. Next, we have the obtuse angle, the larger angle. It's an angle with a measurement greater than 90 degrees. And you can see an example there on the screen. It's a wide open angle. Then we have the straight angle, which is also the same thing as a line. It measures 180 degrees, a flat, straight line, straight angle, 180 degrees. Finally, we have the full angle or the circle. This is the angle that goes completely around in a complete circle and measures 360 degrees. How do we label an angle? We can label angles using their parts. So the angle you see on the screen has different points on it. You see a point with A, B, and C. The B point is what we call the vertex, and that's where the 2 rays meet together to form the point. And you can label this angle using the labels on the rays. So we would call this angle ABC, noting that we want to make sure that the vertex is the second letter. So we could call this angle ABC or CBA as long as we have B in the middle. What happens if you need to measure an angle but you don't have a protractor? If you're missing a measurement and you don't have a protractor, oftentimes we can use the data we do have to solve for a missing angle. For example, we have the angle AOC on the screen, the big angle AOC. And we have 2 smaller angles inside of it, angle AOB and angle BOA. The red angle and the blue angle add together to make the total large angle. So if you know the sum of the entire angle and you know one of the little angles inside, you could easily figure out one of the missing pieces by doing some addition or subtraction. More about this in class together. So that's it for today. Today, you got a brief overview about the different types of rays, lines, segments, and angles that we've talked about, and how to group and classify angles based on their measurements, as well as what a protractor is and what we use a protractor for. And we learned a little bit about how to label angles and figure out if there's a missing angle that we need to solve for. So if you need to pause the video, rewind, go back, and make sure you have your notes completed for class, please do that now. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.